with that, I think as women, we try to manage it all, family, a household, work, and somewhere in between yourself. How did you balance work and life? And what tips or advice do you have for those who may be in a similar situation? So Heather, I'd like to start with you on this question.
Great. Yeah, this is an ever evolving challenge to balance family life and work. I'm divorced. I have 3 children, so I'm very busy between the business and running kids to their sports and school and different things. But I think a big part of it is like family cooperation. You know, I try to get the kids involved. They understand the importance of my work and what I'm doing, and I really try to include them in that and make them a part of it so they don't feel like that's taking away from attention to them. And so that's been really helpful. My daughter loves helping with the dogs and, you know, getting involved, as my boys do too. They like maybe more the technical end of things. But so I think just having them really understand and being part of the business for me has been a way to balance that. And then I also am fortunate to have, you know, a very, you know, supportive network of family and friends that step up and help when you know, when I need help with the kids or help with additional business things. So just I think surrounding yourself with a great support group is key. And I think really, you know, getting your family involved so they feel part of it and don't feel like it's taking you away from them.
Thank you. I think that's an important piece, and I love that you highlighted family mainly and how they too can kind of support you in your business endeavors. I think sometimes, especially I know from my perspective that my parents are immigrants, so they have started their careers in a different way than some others may have. And I think that in sense influenced and inspired me to kind of step out and take faith and risk more or less. And that's a lot of the skills that you need to really dive into an entrepreneurial role, is being not afraid to take risks. So thank you for sharing that. The value of family and how they can support you through those endeavors is important. So Carole, I know from your perspective, you know, you've started in Tampa, moved up to New York, and now you're back here full circle. How did you manage, you know, your work-life balance, especially being a lawyer and working in a really high demanding job in New York City?
Yeah, it's you know, the work-life balance, we speak about it a lot, particularly from a woman's perspective and maybe unique obligations that women have or perceive that they have. And I think for me, the way I've tended to balance it is to integrate and to be as mindful about your personal needs as you are about your professional needs. And the way I've done that is, and I'm a very active person. I love to, did prior, a lot of travel, and but also really taking in, I like to be outside and taking in all of the benefits of wherever, whether I was in New York City or here now in Tampa, that we have, you know, boating and hiking and biking and walking and festivals. Well, we used to have them, but they'll be back. But all the activities that go on in the community around us. And I put that as high a priority as I do my professional endeavors, and such that I'll tend to schedule them. And if there's an event or a festival, or if I want to go running for the night, I put it on the calendar. And I know that sounds a little like overly structured. Maybe I might be a tad OCD on that, but it really does help me prioritize those things as much as an appointment with the USF Connect team. They're equally important. And it helps me keep things and my time managed. Because I think what we tend to do sometimes is you have the call, the Zoom with work, and it tends to go long, and then you look up and you didn't get to go running. But if you make running a part of your schedule, or whatever your activity might be, then you will do it. It's as important as your professional endeavors. So I tend to do that, and my significant other laughs because I include him in the invite. So he'll say, oh, I see we're hiking this weekend. It's on his Outlook calendar. And, but it does, you know, we have some fun with it, but it does help me ensure that the things that are important from a personal perspective are ranked just as high as a professional. And the one thing, and Heather mentioned, is a network. I also tend to integrate the professional network into a personal. I've been blessed. I have a very robust group of friends here in Tampa, women that enjoy the same types of activities outside of work. And so we can find ourselves engaging outside of work, and yet, you somehow, you don't have to actually compartmentalize your life so much. You can let some of those things integrate and kind of blend together, and it feels more enriched, at least for me. So those are some of the ways that I help kind of keep myself sane.
Thank you for sharing. And Angie, how about you? What are some tips that you have for others who may be in similar situations as yourself in balancing work, family, and life in general?
Well, first, Jayde, I'm terrible at it. I'm awful. I'm not good at it. And I just had to, I mean, when we were building the business, it was 24/7. We had 300 employees. I felt like there were 300 families that were dependent on Dan and I, and the weight of that never went away, including raising your children, our children, and, they were 3-sport athletes and getting to all their games. And I would say during those years, those very intense years, I sacrificed my own personal, recreational activity, except I had a group of girlfriends that, we were all mothers, we had kids that had kind of grown up together. And, that girlfriend time for me, maybe we were able to get together maybe once a month. Everybody's lives were chaotic and busy, but that time meant so much to us. And, we got away for a long weekend every year. We traveled somewhere together, and we've done it for 25 years now. So, I mean, it's been an amazing time, that time, and deep, deep friendships. And we sort of created this community that helped each other with our kids. And, I guess there's two things, tips I'd like to say is, pull the lens back, because if you judge yourself, like if I judged myself on every day, did I get enough me time, or was I would fail every day during those years, because I just didn't. And if I pull the lens back, I just think, I had probably 32 years of my life where that was just mine. I didn't have children. And then I had 18 years of craziness. And now I'm in a place where I can spend 8 hours a day, reading or training or running, or I've decided that I'm going to measure my life balance over my entire lifetime instead of, my week or my day or something like that. And then the last thing I want to say is, a woman can't do everything. And, her career is as good as her partner's is at home, and in a way, like if you're trying to do everything, and the person that you're at home with, when you come home to, expects you to come home and cook and clean and take the kids somewhere, like if there's some sort of traditional point of view on what a woman should be or shouldn't be, it's just not going to work. It just can't work, because you can't. I mean, I feel so grateful that Dan and I had role flexibility, and and equality at home as well as at work, and that we had that. I had a partnership, a true partnership, in the boardroom, in the executive suite, when we built the business, and at home. And I think that's as much, helpful to women is, what their partner is willing to, how willing their partner is to see them as an equal in every way.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I think, again, the three of you commented on essentially time, which I think is ultimately our one true currency, is how we allocate our time. And in addition to that, health too, I think that's an important factor, and balancing, you know, your family, your work, and your partnerships, your networks is in a sense a commodity to do so in a way that works best for you and the lifestyle that you envision for yourself. So it is customizable, but at the same time, we only have a limited amount of time. And so being able to either, like Carole shared, create a schedule, or to, like, you know, Angie, what you shared, having a partner to help you kind of disseminate the work across the group and create an equality of sorts, so that you do have that balance more or less. And you can look at it over a lifetime, not necessarily in that moment. So thank you for sharing that with us.